Good day, everyone, and welcome to The Deep End. This is your host, Zar.
I'm AJ.
And this is John.
And today, we're going to talk about our favorite horror movies and why we love them.
Actually, it's not only horror, like per se, that has something to do with, what do you call it?
Gore.
Gore
Or
ghost,
supernatural.
supernatural, paranormal.
Psychological.
Yeah, it involves the psychological aspects, the weird, the bizarre, the macabre, the strange.
Yeah.
The disturbing.
Anything that really hits home with the deep end.
Yeah, that's true horror for us.
That it's inspired our show.
I can't help but say the deep end.
The
I
laugh.
can't help but pronounce it that way now whenever I
Yeah.
say it.
Hey guys, let's go record another episode of The Deep End. Anyway.
Anyway, let me start.
Okay.
Of course, horror movies, they've been a big part of my life. Growing up here in the Philippines, I've seen a lot of horror. And to be honest, even as a child, only a few local horror films caught my attention.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because of the campy nature that most of our horror films have.
Mostly quite friendly, right?
Yeah. Especially the Shake, Rattle, and Roll series, if you can still remember that. It's a long time running move. It's actually like a tradition back then. Almost every year you had a new
movie on it.
Yeah, a new Shake, Rattle, and Roll movie.
The first few ones were okay
Yeah.
for me,
But
but then
they're-
they kept doing it.
Yeah, because it was a hit. It's
Yeah.
basically each movie is a collection of stories, scary stories. Now I'm just mentioning. I just wanted to mention Shake, Rattle, and Roll because it was very campy.
That's your favorite film?
No.
No.
I just wanted to mention it.
Mhm.
The reason why I'm not really into a lot of the local horror films that we have is because most of the time they're corny and campy. But the kind of horror films that I like are the ones that are sort of relatable.
Mhm.
Okay, let me just be honest. I think I mentioned this before during our during our episode about ghosts. I have not really experienced any paranormal stuff by myself. I have not seen any ghost. I have not experienced any sort of haunting or anything like that. But I have a lot of friends and acquaintances who have shared stories with me. And most of their stories are very, very simple. Very simple stories, very simple tales of haunting and ghosts. And when I saw this movie back on, I don't know, maybe it was around 2011.
Yeah.
Way after it was released, it really sort of hit a nerve, you know?
Mhm.
The movie I'm talking about is Paranormal Activity.
Mhm.
What I like about Paranormal Activity is it's a very simple movie about a family who is somehow being haunted by this supernatural entity, this unseen creature or demon or ghost. And the way that the film shows it is it's like a found footage film.
Mhm.
Wherein
Like a surveillance.
Yeah,
connection.
wherein the couple, I think the girl's name is Katie.
Yeah.
And the guy's name is Micah. Katie is upfront about this. She was as a child, she sort of had this ghost or demon haunting her ever since. It was sort of a presence that's been with her for a long time, and it seems to have followed them in their new home. And Micah, the skeptic, pretty much like me, he's actually sort of I share some of his viewpoints in this film because he's a very skeptic person. He mostly relies on logic and rational thinking to in interpreting these hauntings and stuff, and he is hell-bent on proving that this is nonsense, that this isn't really anything supernatural. Now, the thing is, he sets up surveillance cameras, recording equipment, audio recording equipment, stuff like that around the house. He tries to find proof of this ghost or this presence, and the way the ghost actually makes its presence felt throughout the film is very simple. Sometimes you'll see lights going on and off, or you would see wall hangings moving, as if something pushed it or brushed it aside. Some of the furniture moving, stuff like that. Very familiar stuff you've heard from other people who've experienced similar things. Basically, having objects move or objects being thrown at them, stuff like that. And it's a very simple film if you look at it, but the horror sort of gets you because it's super relatable.
Yeah,
and it can happen to anyone, really. If you've made a mistake with your real estate agent, you purchased this.
Suddenly bought a house without knowing what the fuck is in it.
Yeah.
The history, someone got killed there.
Yeah, it has. There's supposed to be a check mark for that, right?
Yeah.
Like,
is the house haunted?
Is the house haunted?
Did someone die here? Someone killed themselves here?
This is required information. I think it's even required in some states in the US.
I would love that. Yeah.
I think it's required in some states in the US that you declare if the property has a history of haunting and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, because of Micah's actions, he aggravates the spirit, or whatever it is, because the movie never really tells you whatever it was, and they even call in this priest, right? They even call in this priest to help them drive away this negative force from their house. And you know what? The most terrifying thing is, this priest was very confident, over the phone. However, the moment he stepped in, he felt that he could not do anything for this family. He immediately gave up. And the feeling that, an authority in this kind of thing would, surrender immediately.
Like, oops, I can't help you. Sorry, guys. And then he leaves.
You know how in stories there's like this hero who everyone has heard of, but the moment he decides to visit your village, it turns out that he can't actually do anything for you.
Because in your mind, it's already said that, he's the guy.
He's the guy. This guy's gonna fix our demon problem.
Yeah.
But the moment he steps in, he feels it, the negative energy. And you see a lot of these in documentaries, interviews, footage you can find online. You see a lot of these experts saying the same things. It's as if this movie is a parody of that.
Actually, there's another movie that's kind of like the Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
It's Grave Encounters.
Oh,
yeah.
we talked about this earlier.
This is a really good movie. And they actually parodied the fact that there are ghost hunters.
I think it's a
That-
parody of this show, Ghost Adventures, which
Yeah.
I like.
Yeah, because these ghosts in the movie, it's as if they were just gonna fake it. You know, they're just
Yeah.
gonna fake the footage because people would
That's for
eat
ratings.
this stuff. You know.
Yeah.
However, they made a
Yeah.
fatal mistake.
shit hit the fan, and they made some really bad mistake of staying there and locking themselves up.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing.
It's basically. Oh no, I can't spoil it. It's too good.
Yeah, it's basically about these fake ghost hunters just trying to get footage for their show.
and it's masked. The movie, even though yes, it's just a movie production, it felt real because again, it's a found footage.
Yeah, it is
Found
also a
footage
found
format.
footage,
format.
film, yeah.
Mhm. Which got popularized by, of course, Blair Witch.
Blair Witch, the granddaddy of the found
Found
footage
footage.
horror films. Yeah. Never really understood what happened there, though.
No, I think there's no.
Oh, Blair
I
Witch?
don't know. Yeah.
I mean, if you actually
Is
search
this
online, you
cynical?
can still find a lot of theory videos about it. You know how it's not really a supernatural movie. That it was actually these two guys. They were actually planning to kill her, and they set her up
But
to be murdered. But they made it look like it was some sort of paranormal stuff. Yeah, like as if this witch of the woods is going to,
That's imaginative.
that's a good theory.
Yeah, you should you know what? Just because I will actually post a link for that in the description, just for people who'd like to see the Blair Witch in another light. But again, Paranormal Activity, I really like this film because it is relatable. It's very simple, and it shows a lot of the things that I've heard of.
Mm-hmm.
And it presents them in a way that this can be real, this
It's
can
possible.
happen. Yeah, but the ending actually is super campy. I don't like the ending, but the rest of the movie,
There's several endings for the film, actually.
yeah, there are several endings for it, but the canon ending is,
Mhm.
it's still not that good for me. But the rest of the film is good in my book.
So, AJ, what's your favorite horror story?
Well, John, my earlier today, I was picking at least. Well, you mentioned the Grave Encounters, so that's clear. We watched that and we screamed like girls. I was choosing between the original Japanese Grudge and this other Japanese film called Noroi, The Curse. I mean, The Grudge is like the... I like The Grudge because it made me feverish for 2 days after I watched it on...
That's because you have this weird-ass
Yeah,
art room, what you call your art room that looks like the attic from The Grudge.
a few years ago, the entrance for my office, if you may,
At home.
had a ladder and a square entrance on the ceiling. Kind of like the scene where Okina Megumi, the cute girl there, went up with a flashlight and saw... What's the ghost name? Kayako.
Kayako.
Yeah. But... Noroi, The Curse. I've seen this, I think last year. Last year. It's got all the the things I like about horror, found footage, theme. What else? Demon occult. You've watched it, right? Did you watch it? Should I tell the story? No. I don't want you to know the story for me. You gotta watch it because it's got some really good twists, and the way they shot this is amazing. Like the camera would pan and you wouldn't see the figure in the woods and stuff like that.
And the best thing about Noroi is every shot, because it's a quote unquote found footage. There are a lot of moving camera footages.
Yeah.
Then if you don't pay attention closely, you would miss the figures on the woods.
Yeah.
Kind of like, if you guys are familiar with one of the best horror games by Japan called Siren Blood Curse, it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
Yes, it's kind of like that.
No, well,
but seriously.
Let me ask, what is scary about Noroi exactly? Well, judging from the title, Curse, I bet this has something to do with the occult.
Yes, the guy, there was a reporter guy.
Mm-hmm.
This is Siren Blood Curse, the movie, basically.
And he was, the short part of it is he's trying to investigate a case.
Yes.
Like the game. No. And then the curse just transfers to him, basically.
This is Siren Blood Curse.
What does the curse do? Is this something big that you can't reveal, or is this a simple...
It's a
Kind of big.
It's kind
because,
of big on the story.
Yeah.
It's kind of big because it just so happens that the case was actually just waiting for the guy
Yeah.
to show up to be the carrier of the curse.
So it's this sort of story wherein this whole thing was actually
The
sort
gears
of a
were
setup.
turned. Yeah, the gears were turned once it got investigated.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Basically, even the investigation itself was a part of it. Was a part of the ritual or whatever.
Yes. Again, I will repeat it. This is Siren Blood Curse, the movie. But what's good about Noroi, again, the camera angles. It's
Again, if you're a film
buff.
guy, buff, you would really, really love how this is filmed, because there's weird camera tricks here that
Yeah, it's so.
it's not
Is it
it's
very
not
artsy?
it's not
No,
really
no, not
CGI,
really
but
CGI.
it's really there's CG in it, of course.
Okay.
But there's these really old school techniques there that were used.
Remember the techniques used on the old school, The Ring?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that.
like those old school horror, Asian horror techniques that makes it more, that makes it scarier and creepier, because the CGI today, you just brush it like
it's CGI.
Yeah.
You know the Hulk is CGI.
What's that last movie by Guillermo del Toro?
Which one?
It's about this. It's a Victorian-esque.
That's Stranding?
No, not
No.
that Stranding. No, it's a Victorian. It's a horror story, supposedly a horror story, or well, he markets it as sort of a romance, but it has a lot of horror, gothic horror elements in it.
Mm-hmm.
However, most of the stuff is done in CGI.
Sadly, it didn't work out that well because it was a CGI.
Yeah, it's not that good. When you see a lot of CGI in a movie, it really feels fake.
Yeah,
which is why
it's not. It's not that we hate CGI in a film. No, we just want that if you're gonna present something, in a realistic manner, better present it as something in a realistic footage. So, Crimson Peak.
Yes, it is Crimson Peak. That movie. It has a lot of beautiful CGI in it, but the fact that you know that it's computer generated, just because we're jaded like that. Maybe if we were like kids and we saw this and we'd
pee ourselves.
We didn't know anything about CGI, this would be the scariest shit, right? But
we would pee ourselves.
Yeah.
Crimson Peak, there's some things in it that. Okay, let me just go off on a tangent here. In Crimson Peak, there's something in it that reminded me of that art movie that one of the guys from Daft Punk did.
What?
Yes, one of the guys from Daft Punk did an art movie, and the shots were insanely trippy.
Trippy.
And it wasn't CGI.
Practical effects is always appreciated
when
it is
done.
appropriate.
And when done correctly. So yeah, that would be it's something that I'm looking for in the movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's AJ's Noroi.
Yeah. The Curse.
It's
Look
very
for it.
Siren
It's
Blood.
actually old.
When was
It's
this
old
released,
movie.
by the way?
That
2000.
2002?
Yeah,
Whoa,
3.
okay.
And the
I might look this up later.
the cinematography is like 1990s style.
Yeah.
It's
That's
like
90s.
gritty and gray. You'd love it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'd look this up later.
Mm. So now comes mine. So Czar went the paranormal path. AJ went the paranormal path again.
Sorry, man.
So I'm gonna go with the psychological path. One of the best movies I've seen, and I'm so sad that I saw it late, was Donnie Darko,
Mm-hmm.
starred by Jake Gyllenhaal, Jenna Malone. There's Drew Barrymore on it as well. And this was actually what do you call this? Suggested by one of my friends, one of my SEO mentors. He suggested this to me, and when I watched it, I was just beating myself up. Why did I just fucking watch this right now?
You're beating off?
Beating myself up.
Oh. I thought you were beating off to the movie or something.
Yeah, no. Well, actually, Donnie Darko is a film about a doomsday apparition.
Mm.
So, Donald Darko, Donnie,
Mm-hmm.
is being haunted by this rabbit in a rabbit costume mascot thing called Frank, telling him that, hey, it's going to be the end of the world in 28 days. And yeah. So Donnie was just like, what the fuck? So this movie plays through the whole movie, or rather the whole movie plays as if Donnie was expecting the end of the world and they were trying to stop it.
Okay.
But suddenly, shit hits the fan, and there's another side to it. The themes in Donnie Darko include paranoid schizophrenia,
Mm-hmm.
because there's one point in the movie that Donnie went to a psychotherapist, and the therapist said that you have paranoid schizophrenia. There's no Frank. But he still insisted that he's being checked out by Frank a lot. After that, again, a lot of things happened, and at the end of the film, he woke up the same way he started. He woke up the same way the film started, but without Frank, and he died. And according to the director's cut, this film plays heavily on the time travel aspect, or not actually time travel, but space-time continuum aspect, where the ending was the true universe, and the whole film was a parallel universe, a tangent universe, that if the living receiver, which was Donnie, on the tangent universe doesn't help the true universe to survive, shit will seriously burst into flames. Everything will just go down. So, a lot of factors in it contribute, like the people in the tangent universe, the movie itself, the people were doing unnatural stuff that people won't usually do
in real life,
just to add to Donnie's mission to save the true universe. But he doesn't know that what he's doing is saving the true universe. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't make sense. I hope you watch the film. It's really good.
I know.
You know what?
I can see why you really like this.
This sounds like crazy talk. Maybe you have paranoid schizophrenia.
Is this the real one?
Is this? Maybe you're still watching Donnie Darko.
Oh,
Maybe
man.
you are Donnie Darko.
I'm Johnny Darko.
And I'm AJ Franco.
Paranoid schizophrenia, though. I saw this video about. It's a video done in the first person about how it feels to have paranoid schizophrenia, and it freaked me the fuck out.
Seriously, paranoid schizophrenia is one of all mental illnesses are of course worse and bad.
Mm-hmm.
But paranoid schizophrenia just takes it to another level, because not only do you suffer from paranoia, but your brain, your paranoid brain, is giving you images,
Precisely.
feeding you things.
Not just images, but also audio.
Audio,
hear
all
stuff.
sorts of
Senses.
stimuli.
Yeah.
happens.
The-
Tactile, audio.
I'll try to look for this video that for the benefit of our listeners who have a faint idea about what paranoid schizophrenia is. I will actually look for this really good video about paranoid schizophrenia and post the link to the description. And I assure you, it will freak you out because
seriously,
I can't imagine. I just can't imagine being because from what you told us about Donnie Darko, it's as if even though the director was explaining it, right?
No, that was in the director's cut.
Even in the director's cut,
but in the movie itself, there's no explanation whatsoever that's happening. It's insane. You just like, what the fuck?
even the added exposition on the director's cut that you mentioned, it still feels like
Crazy talk.
it's crazy talk, you know, like someone who has paranoid schizophrenia would think of, you know.
Also, just to add to the why I like this film, the person or that excerpt about time, the tangent universe, and that is an excerpt from the book inside the movie, written by a certain professor that went senile in the movie. Do you get it? That's insane. And also another thing, in the movie, Frank tells Donnie that the world will end in 28 days. Just a quick trivia: the whole movie was shot in 28 days.
Oh,
That's
And
so
they
art.
didn't know. It just coincidentally happened. They didn't plan for it to be shot in 28 days. They only had a budget of 4.5 million to make a
wait,
movie.
this is you have Jake Gyllenhaal in this.
Yes, you have Drew
You
Barrymore.
have Drew Barrymore.
This
in
is not a B movie.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about it. It's just I haven't gotten.
Acquainted with the movie yet.
Yeah, I haven't gotten the opportunity to watch it. But a lot of our friends, mutual friends, have been recommending Donnie Darko to me. Even our friend from the Potato Entertainment podcast, Khalid, he's a super big fan of
Donnie
this
Darko
movie.
as well.
Yeah.
It's a really good film because it tackles on a lot of the strange things or the strange theme. Because it has something to do with paranoid schizophrenia. It has murder. It has crime. And the whole point that Donnie was doing the crime is that Frank is egging him to do it.
I think this even touches on quantum mechanics.
Yes, and quantum mechanics as well. Because, again,
because of that whole parallel universe shit going on.
That's
there's
This is like a
artifact. The artifact at the start of the movie. Okay, here's a quick spoiler. At the start of the movie, you'll see a jet engine, a plane's jet engine, in Donnie's room, crashed into Donnie's room, and he's outside. It's like, what the fuck's happening? And Frank led him outside. In the end, that same jet engine killed Donnie. While he woke up and the jet engine was
falling
on his house.
on his house.
wait. Is it okay? This is just
That's
fucking
like
blowing my
multidimensional.
mind right now. This is like I am being mind blown, and I haven't even seen this movie. Is this 28 days of the world ending? Is it just Donnie Darko's life ending in 28 days?
No.
And basically Frank is leading him to a solution in order for his death to be prevented in this true universe.
No, in the true universe, he needs to die.
In order
for the world
in order for the world to be saved.
to be saved. No, the universe to be saved.
This is fucking.
He's like
I'm gonna
he's like
fucking
the
watch
male.
this. Maybe tomorrow.
He's like the male version of Haruhi Suzumiya.
Yeah, exactly. And if you
What is he to this universe anyway?
he's basically the
Is he just some sort of anomaly that needs to be eradicated?
yes,
or something?
erased or something, because after he died on the in the last bit, 28 of his friends in the tangent universe which he interacted with, suddenly woke up. Like, they awakened and just like, what the fuck?
Do they
all
still remember
woke up.
Donnie, though?
No, they don't remember Donnie. The relationships made in the Tangent universe wasn't present in the true universe, but two of the girls inside the Tangent universe saw each other because what happened in, like, there's a jet. Of course, there will be a report of a jet engine falling in a house and killing.
Yeah.
Then two of the girls that met in the Tangent universe that haven't met in the true universe met outside Donnie's house, and they just wave at each other, not knowing why.
This is like some sort of weird quantum mechanics shit going on. Like,
I forgot what it's called. You know how one thing happens in another
yeah, you have
plane
this.
and it happens on another.
You have information sort of being transferred over from one plane of reality into another, and it's like fucking quantum mechanics. How these two realities are shaped by these events, even though they are completely separate.
And the sad thing is, even though in the parallel universe, or even in this universe, people who might actually have something to do can be diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia because no one understands them.
You know what? This has piqued my interest. Maybe we could set
a movie thing,
an episode for this whole thing, you know,
sure,
and
no
discuss
problem.
this. Yeah,
this is a really
in great
good movie.
detail. Yeah,
and let's invite the folks from Potato Entertainment to
We'll watch it.
And
yeah, we should have a
screen.
group viewing of this.
Yeah, sure.
And then after we will
let's prepare the camera.
do a
Once we
podcast.
have done the legendary face reveal, let's do this.
Legendary.
Anyway, those are the 3 films we like. Again, to recap, we have
Paranormal Activity.
Why?
Just because it's relatable.
AJ.
Noroi, The Curse,
And
because of fantastic filming techniques.
and Donnie Darko because it just doesn't make sense.
I like Donnie Darko.
I love Donnie Darko. It's one
I
of the
think
best
I'm gonna
films.
love this movie. As
Yeah, you're
well.
gonna love this movie, and I swear, knowing you and how you internalize things, you're gonna get crazy.
Internalize the
Yeah,
darkness.
this is probably gonna drive me nuts for a few days.
So there you go, guys. Hope you. We're gonna leave some descriptions, rather, we're gonna leave some links in the descriptions below. Just if you are interested in the movies, you can find wiki entries or like excerpts of the films in the description below. Also, if you like this episode, be sure to subscribe because we have more deep and mystery, crazy, paranormal, weird psychological stuff going on, and
mind-destroying.
we
things
really
talk
love
about.
to talk about it.
Also, true crime.
And
Yes,
true crime.
true crime.
Watch out for our next episode, like Elisa Lam, because we really want to do more episodes like those because it's something that really piqued our interest.
Yes.
And the research surrounding those kinds of episodes, we really would like to share them to you, our findings. Also, if you want to know more about our episodes, be sure to click on the bell button down beside the subscribe button. And we have social networks as well.
Yes.
So be sure to follow us there because we have some
Facebook and
update
Twitter.
that we're not going to be telling you guys here on YouTube. So again, this is the Deep End Podcast. Bye, guys.
Thanks for listening.